What's up, everybody, on this fabulous sunshiny is it today's Tuesday? No, it can't be. It can't be. Yeah, it is Tuesday. Gosh, I skipped a day. I thought it was Monday already. No, we're still Monday, but no, it's Tuesday. We got things to do. So let me tell you what I recently I feel like I'm in a high vibratory state. So maybe some of my words are escaping my language and my speaking, but I'm in a very good power state. And I have no idea what contributed to it. I usually can tell you this or that. I can only speculate. So my energy is high level, great right now. I am so ecstatic. I'm so motivated. Haven't drank any coffee. Now, there's some of that contributing to the Makuna purines that I've had this morning, but I had that after I was already happy and excited. So this is like transformative. One of the things I did do is go to the chiropractor to get adjusted. Because I don't know if you remember, a couple weeks back, I screwed up my back doing some overhead press and messed up like my thoracic and cervical area. And when I got the chiropractor to look at it, and he started going through and looking at my alignment, he was like, "Oh, you're gonna be in some pain today." He's like, he knew. It's like the first time one of my chiropractor, he's usually like, it's nothing. You're young. He says all that kind of cute stuff. Today he was a little concerned, and you got to remember, I did this like a week or two ago. So the fact that I was still okay, was still working out, but I could tell whenever I would lay down. I lay down today to do bench press. I never do bench press, but I was like, I want to grow that to where I'm doing 2 plates on each side. I want to do 225. I think that'd be a great achievement to get back to, considering, when you get older, you're just trying to hit these milestones again. And I'm already strong in so many ways, so I didn't push it too much. I think I got to like 160, 170, and I just kind of pulled back. It was too hard. It really wasn't. So I probably could have got the other, or at least got close to it. So we're making progress. That's all that matters. But I could feel all the pains in my back. And so when I got adjusted today, I already just felt an improvement. But before all that, why was I in such a happy, energy, excited state? I do not have any reason. I don't have really any good explanation. There is maybe one. Now, if you watched my video yesterday in the evening, I started talking about breathing. Like, why was Sean Baker breathing so hard and all that kind of cute stuff. But again, he had just done push-ups, so that was the reason why he was having issues. But in general, I have been dealing with breathing problems. Just in like overall, my circulation felt off. I still have little body pains here and there, which don't really make a lot of sense to me. So I just continue on with life. You're gonna get these days, I guess, as you get older, people. So just be ready. Some people don't encounter them at all. I don't really know. I don't. Some people drink their life away and they just numb the pain. That was the last X. So, what did I do? What transformed me just a little bit better? D3K2. I really believe that it was that combination. And I don't really like that supplement. And I did have some pains yesterday. It was some weird stuff going on. And it wasn't like I felt like a big transformative effect after I took it, really. I was almost questioning why I took it, but I also had other stuff I had taken with it, like some mushrooms. I had like this nice fat mushroom complex, which usually wrecks my gut. And like some of my bladder issues were going on. So I was not doing the best yesterday, even if my appearances on the external side was looking different. But I think K2 is what helped. I was already breathing a little bit better by the end of that evening, and then going into today, I've just been like breathing better, and so my breathing, it's not smooth, but I can breathe. I feel like my veins are breathing. That's the difference. It's not even just that; it's my lungs, everything. And I've been continuing to take sucrosomial magnesium. And anybody that doesn't know what that is, you probably heard of magnesium glycinate, you probably heard of magnesium stearate, all these different nates. Well, this is sucrosomial. And if you get on that, it's pretty close to glycinate. So I would say for me, it supposedly crosses the blood-brain barrier and helps get magnesium into these parts, but it's I can't really tell a difference too much, but I know that it definitely does at the same level or better, maybe a little bit better than the glycinate. So if it's something you want to experiment with, I think you'll be safe. But what I learned today on K2 is so valuable, and I've learned it in the past. You know, I've got so much knowledge that so much gets overwritten. You guys probably think I'm just boasting about myself or a little bit here, but no, I've got a lot of knowledge. I mean, I'm just talking to you guys, talking to myself, making this journal. But in regular everyday life, people are constantly asking me for different advice on whatever the hell they're doing. If it's working out in the gym, they have some ideas like, how's this, what do I do this with my form? And I'm not a form guy really, but I can still guide people on the mechanics to help them with what they're doing. And if it's happening with diet, I'm usually on that subject. Hell, I made a separate channel that dealt with such like very granular, nuancy stuff with dieting, seed oils. I already have all that in my pedigree. So to some degree, I kind of know some stuff. Plus, I am a supplement king. I definitely have so much damn supplements, but I don't take a whole lot of them now. So it keeps. I have a more efficient usage. But yeah, where was I going with all this? I mean, I'm just rambling on, but I'm here to say that I'm not here to just be like some, talk like, oh, I know it all. I don't know it all. I really ask for you guys' advice. If you guys think there's something counter to what I'm saying, say something. But otherwise, there's no sound from the peanut gallery. I'm going to continue on with whatever it is that I'm talking about. And so K2, huge, right? So apparently that is so influential. I'll give you some of the things that I bounced between on some of these videos today, and then recap it all together for what I pulled away as gold nuggets. So I've heard this in the past, heard it today, and it just seems synergistic. When you're having, usually people that are having episodes or experiences or problems, they're all systemic. They all run around. They're all global, meaning like they're connected. They're synergistic. They're connected with one another. So here's what the fallouts usually come down to. You have problems with you have diabetic issues, regulating blood sugar. So that's always going to be involved in some degree with this calcium concentrations and artery and plaque buildup. I'm just saying there's these interconnections, there are relations, correlations, whatever you want to call it. Causation, we'll get to that. So you have that right there with the coagulation of the blood and the arteries and plaque. And I'm saying a lot of terms, not a doctor, but there's that scenario with diabetic situations. Your kidneys start having issues. People that have heart issues usually have osteoporosis problems. So we've got 4 of those now. We got the heart, we got the bones, with the bones not having, being breaking apart, falling apart, just, they're not as strong, their integrity's not as strong. You've got diabetic issues, you got kidney issues. You got I'm gonna call them the 4 horsemen of fucking disease. That when they ride in, they're usually carrying their buddies. It's not just one of them. They're usually there's a couple. They're at least going to come in some pairs. And so I think when you can wrestle with those giants, you're probably going to start winning some battles. Breathing is a big thing for me. When I can't breathe well, I start to wonder about, is my oxygen levels passing well? Like, what's happening in that framework? Obviously, you can tell I'm not shortness on breath today. It's very clear. I can speak like I need to speak. I could go all day about it. So K2, and specifically mk7, that type of K2, is more bioavailable in the body. I'm just getting you over the humps if you're listening to this. So the foods you want to eat for the mk7 are going to be fermented. Somebody said natto. I don't really know what natto is as far as a fermented food, but that was on the list. The other one was kimchi. Of course, you could use some kimchi. And then sauerkraut. Those are your main bullet points for mk7 if you want to consume it without taking a supplement. Most people need a supplement. I take supplements. That's what they're for. They're to supplement your deficiencies. So I used, my version is by Dr. Berg because I like a lot of his products. And it's the D3K2. Seems like quite a lot of the D3 in it. But why is it always paired with D3? Why vitamin D? Because of their synergistic properties, that it helps get the K2 in there. I think it also helps with not having so much, because I think what can happen is like your vitamin D hormone levels can go a little bit haywire and cause you to have protein fallout in your urine, which again causes plaquing and everything else that you don't want. It's undesirable. So the K2 is kind of like that counterweight, but at the same time, it helps with K2. So they're just like a good pairing. That's all I understand it to be. I'm not going to give you something crazy off of that. I will say though, if you're concerned about, well, what if I take too much K2, mk7? The studies do not know what is a safe level, meaning they have done this at the 350 gram, is it milligram? Yeah, 350 milligram area. And usually you'll see supplements with mk7 or something to that effect with vitamin K2 in the micrograms. So they don't even touch 1 gram, and this has been studied at 300 milligrams. Or excuse me, they don't even touch 1 milligram, and they've already studied this at 300 milligrams. So that already can let you know the safe, and there's no problems, there's no side effects at these levels, those high levels. Maybe a little stomach discomfort, you might have some gastrointestinal issues, but very rare. So what this tells me, and constantly when they say that they supplement or they use this K2, it offsets all the other issues. Your kidney problems, your diabetic issues, the 4 horsemen, your bone situations, your osteoporosis, and your heart problems. So those are the bad boys. And if they're causing problems, or if there's problems in those areas, more times than not, there's probably going to be associated with some cancer issues. Because the cells, whenever they're going through damaging problems and they're just struggling to keep you alive, because that's the whole purpose, right? Then that is going to be a systemic fallout from not having those online or on board. And so you're just really trying to get your body back in that renewing, rejuvenating system process. Just my thoughts on that. What else can I say? Watch the video on fasting. I think that one's a pretty good one too. And I've looked at fasting. I've done fasting. I mean, I should be somewhat of a guru on fasting. However, I don't know it all and I forget. I have so many different things I've done and I've lost brain cells. You guys know my stories. So it was a good recap. This is on the Diary of a CEO. He interviewed this lady, and some of the things she said, the first part of the video, like he does like a little highlight thing that you're going to be expecting to watch in his video. They were a little bit triggering for me, like talking about how the female is failing in this modern world. Like, I don't, being failed. I'm like, well, men are too. And she was like, more so than men. And I'm like, we need to do a percentage check. Because the last time I checked, men are losing out. There's some men that are dominating. They've figured it out. They got lucky, whatever it is. But for the most part, it's not working well for men. And it's even like we've created a system that does not support our efforts in it as much as anymore. And I'm not talking about like the onflow of women. It's that we've redirected even our roles as men to function in this gender role. I mean, like if you're a man and you identify with that masculine energy, I guarantee you that a lot of your aspects aren't going to be following that behavior. Like you might just be like, oh, I just want to take a break today. You're not going to be in your hard hunter charging status to conquer. You might identify, but you're not close to that masculine side. I promise. Like society has not bred that kind of man in some time now, and it's actually pushing the narrative for a different type of man that's way more sensitive. Why would any of the elites or the powers that be want that to happen? Another thing they mentioned in this video was the fact that phthalates are contributing to the lower testosterone count. There's a book out called The Countdown. Not sure what the author's name is, but check it out. Supposedly details how men are losing testosterone over time, and has been consistently dealing with that. And so where these phthalates show up, they're in our fragrances, our colognes. A lot of you guys like to go out smelling good. I do too. Guess what? Testosterone drop. I like the smell. I like things. My environment's starting to smell good. So guess what? Phthalates, testosterone down. So in my car or anything that I've done, and it's in our clothing, crap. I mean, like, what the hell are you gonna do? So again, it feels like this is another area we're gonna have to supplement a little bit or figure out ways to offset our testosterone damage. Fortunately enough, and why I bounce all around in all this to get back to the subject of fasting is that at the 15-hour mark, your testosterone levels boost your natural test. I don't know about your free test, but I mean, there's a lot of different levels there. But I know, just at least from what they said in the video, your natural testosterone levels get a boost by 1,300%. 1,300! My God, it's like 100 times 13, right? So you kind of get the idea. This is what's occurring after 15 hours of fasting. And the blood vessels and things that are not really affected by the blood-brain barrier, they also get assistance and redirection. And a lot of the sexual organs as well. Like, they benefit the most from going through this fasting period because I guess they just receive the blood flow. And so you need kind of like this healthy exchange with your blood vessels. This is a separate video. Like, I was doing all this stuff while I was doing laundry, and I had been struggling to get motivated for anything, and it has nothing to do with matters in my life. You could say, oh, he's just depressed about maybe his past ex and life, and no, that's not bringing me down. I just don't have the fuel. And I actually prayed about it last night. I'm going to continue to pray, and I want to foster that intentionality, because a lot of times we have the genie, but we don't rub the lamp and ask for the wishes. Like, I just think that's silly. Like, ask for what you wish for. Just take some time and believe in the magic. You came from this void. The void that when you shut your eyes is dark. Like, this is, everything is happening, and you've happened inside of it, and you continue to happen. This is all going back to some of that, those principles of non-duality. I don't remember what the guy's name is anymore. But anyways, guys and gals, testosterone, that's just for the guys. So if you're at the 15-hour mark, that's happening. It's going to be invigorating some of your blood vessels. The blood vessels themselves are very key. Like, the more you can make blood vessels, the more nutrients can get to these spots and actually aid in some of your well-being. So, I'll give you an example. When people are getting older, they don't really necessarily have these blood vessels reaching and growing out, or they may have an overabundance of them in certain areas, like I think it's macular degenerative disease. So that's usually when you get too much of the blood vessels forming. It's not a good thing to have too much. It's not a good thing to have too little. But when you have the right amount, then things that need healing get the help. So if you have a wound and you knock your leg or you hurt yourself, well, now if you have enough blood vessels in the area, or they've grown enough well there, you will get assistance in getting wound recovery. Most of the time when people are older, they don't have that kind of availability, so the wounds take longer, or it turns into a diabetic problem. Anyways, I say all of this to say this. If you consume K2, here is the summary, snapshot, wrap up. Find dosages that are high in K2, mk7. First and foremost, the doctor that I was watching on this video said he gets his stuff from Costco. I'm going to check that out later, see what he's talking about. He could not recommend names because, of course, doctors don't do that. They don't do that for supplements or for products. So that's one. We're going to get mk7. Number two, we're going to focus on fasting at different times. So maybe we can start to push this window out. Maybe we stop eating around 7 or 8 or whatever it is, and we hit a clock. We hit our fasting clock, and we try to push that number all the way out to 15. Now, there's a lot of great benefits after that too. I mean, it just keeps compounding. I think even around the 12-hour mark, your body will start to produce the ketones, and then it'll start to layer out and do some autophagy around the 17-hour mark. But again, check this out. Check out the topic. Maybe I've inspired you to go and do some stuff. Go get it. Do it. So what we're going to do is we've got two things. K2, mk7, high milligram dosage, or at least get in the milligrams if you can. And number two, figure out what your fasting is. Deal and get with the fasting. And then number 3, pray about it. You guys may be atheists. You might need science to back. Guys, if you need science to back up prayer work, it's there. You don't know how powerful your intentions are. Science has already studied the out of just intentions. Meditation. That is prayer. You're scared of a word. That's all it is. Maybe religion damaged you as a child. Maybe you got touched. Sorry if this is a trigger. Step out of the room. But don't step out of the concept and the philosophy that is there to wield benefits and grandiose fruit in your life. I know I'm guilty of it. I don't ask for help. It's a sucky thing as a Sigma male. I don't do it enough. And I try to practice to do it. But yeah, I pray, man. And so that's the 3 things I'm going to leave away with this video. If you guys enjoy it, hit a like, great. If you want to subscribe, perfect. Comment. I like the comments more. If you didn't do any of the other to grow my channel, I would prefer to have the comments because I like dialogue and discussion. I don't get it right all the time. And some people challenge me on different things and it opens my mind. I'm open. I'm an open guy, flexible. You guys have a fabulous Tuesday. I hope to bring back some more content later on in the evening. Maybe we watch some videos. I don't know. I'm letting my day function as it is. I'm getting so much done. I've already cleaned up all of my computer desk here. I've cleaned up some in my room. I did all my laundry. I'm motivated now to take it out to outside to do all the grass cutting. I was like mounding up. One prayer last night. Needed the energy. I said I wanted the vitality to knock out these things in my life. And I've got it in spades at the moment. Not going to stop praying. Somebody told me that when you pray for rain and you get rain, don't stop praying for rain. And that's an interesting concept. Why? Because it's going to dry up again eventually. You're going to be back praying for it. Keep praying for the rain as necessary as it needs to be. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you here in a little bit maybe. Peace.